All right, how's it going, guys? This is Firon. I'm loaded into a game of War Dragons. Just wanted to go over how to build a base, especially after the last event. Currently, we're in the breeding event, so that's the next one. This really doesn't pertain. There aren't a lot of bases that you have to defend, but especially for PvP related, I was defending as much as possible. You could see here someone's attacking at this point, but I can tell just by the defense that there's a lot of people that really don't know how to build a proper base. And, some of the bases, especially within Guild, have been getting ripped apart. I've been in multiple guilds, so I've seen the layouts, and it looks like people aren't putting a lot of effort into it, and some people really just don't know how to build a proper base. If you look online, I mean, there's multiple ways about building a base. People have methods, and they say this is the best layout, etc. There really isn't a best layout. You just have to take a few steps in mind. So this is my base. I kind of stripped everything down. As far as all the islands go, there's one tower currently upgrading right now. And I'm working on the last island, as you can see. So from what's going on here, we're basically going to start out. We're just going to start out by putting out those new towers that we've seen. The fire and ice. They aren't leveled up appropriately. You can put them into rotation once you have them leveled up. As you can see, I have all my towers level 10 or above. Some are 15, some are higher, 17. It varies, but for something that's like level 4, it's going to get destroyed in 2 seconds. A dragon's just going to come in, pummel it, and it's going to be done. So it's just taking up space at this point. With more and more events coming out, they take fire shards and ice shards to level. It's something that down the road is going to be a lot better. What I generally do is I start out with using ballistas. Now, you're going to say ballistas are absolute garbage. I have been reading the forums, and apparently ballistas are being buffed generously. So, at the end of the day, what's going to happen is people that are, salvaging their ballista runes and, not using ballistas, they're going to change up their base because they're going to notice that ballistas are definitely something that they want to have readily available. From what I was reading, they're saying ballistas are going to be the number one DPS, but it's damage over time. So you have to remember, as long as you get the ballista shots, the poison out onto the dragon, the enemy dragon, it's going to effectively or slowly kill it. So what we'll do is we'll put up 2 ballistas. In the middle here, we are actually going to be using the other tower that we have, the ice tower. And let's just try and find it because apparently it's hiding. So we're putting it there. Now, the reason that I'm putting the ice tower in the middle and not one of the mage towers, the mage tower is what people are going to focus on right away. Whether you have a blue or red mage tower up, they're going to kill it as soon as they see it. So in this scenario, we're taking a blue tower because it's the first island, and we're going to put it in the back. And the reason we're putting it in the back is we're hoping that it more or less hits the dragon with its super shot. If it does, it freezes all rage and takes away the rage that the dragon has. That's going to be crucial because coming up on the next islands are going to be some of the heavy hitting towers. Finally, in regards to the last tower that we're going to be putting on this island, you can really choose. You have a variety, whether it be lightning or a cannon, ballista, an archer tower, etc. Generally, I try and find a trebuchet. Just because it's something that technically, if it gets a stun off on the dragon, that's what its special is. It stuns the dragon. It gives a better chance at that blue mage tower, hitting a dragon and more or less freezing its rage. Now, as far as the next island goes. So you could see that some of the islands are large, like this is a 2-part island, this is a 1-part island. On these 1-part islands, there's one there and there's one down here. You definitely want to use lightning towers. If you look at my runes, this island is purely equipped to have lightning towers. You could see epic lightning, rare lightning, epic, rare, common. Anything that I got as far as lightning goes, I'm putting it on there. What I'm doing at this point is I am putting 3 lightning towers that I have available. I want to find my highest lightning towers. So I'm going to use the 2 15s and a 14. So I'll put the 14 in the middle and I will put the 15 on the edges. Now, what's going to happen is I'm going to also be putting a red mage tower on this island. The reason being, here we go. So when most dragons come along, they see, 5 lightning towers grouped up on an island. All they have to do is use a fireball or chain lightning, and it basically destroys everything in one shot. And there goes your whole setup for having lightning towers. It's really pointless. Whereas if you have something to block it, the lightning towers at least get off some DPS on the dragon. They have to kill the tower first. And last but not least, I also put on the island a cannon. The reason being is it's super shot. A cannon's super shot is more or less going to destroy a shield, a barrier, and vulnerability, whatever. So a lot of dragons come in, you see some that aren't red, they're blue, and they use a shield. That one cannon will at least pop the shield, and that's going to be key to more or less letting those lightning towers survive. Now, moving on. So we have this cannon. It's currently upgrading, I think, to level 17 at this point. We're going to go ahead and put up another cannon on this island. So, and I'll show you in a second here, but this island is more or less dedicated to having cannons on it. So if you go on here, and you can boost every island accordingly. There are some people that say, stacking certain towers on a specific, or stacking certain units on one island is bad. Some say it's good, etc. There's really no, I guess, relevant data to say one or the other, but as far as I can see, stacking certain cannons, lightning towers, etc., 2-3 at a time makes sense for these runes, because why are you going to stack a whole bunch of runes and then just have one unit on an island? It doesn't make any sense. You're going to have one buffed unit and everything else isn't really getting any kind of buff. So, going forward, what I'm going to do here is I'm actually going to put a red mage tower in the middle. Now, the reason that I put it in the middle is it covers everything, meaning it covers the units in the front and the units in the back. At the end of the day, that's really what you want. The reason that I didn't do that on the lightning island was because we want the focus on the back. We don't want them to kill the lightning towers right away. Now, what's going to happen here is I'm going to be putting up another cannon. As you can see, the cannons are definitely higher level. And I'll put up another 16 cannon. And in the back here, I am going to put up a different unit. So I'll go across here. I have a level 16 archery tower. I feel pretty comfortable about using that there. Reason I don't put up 4 cannons is just because, people say, oh, don't stack. It's yes and no. I like to do 3 on an island. The reason I don't want to do 4 or, I guess 5 is because there are some dragons that have cannon resist or, lightning resist, which basically makes that island a moot point. The dragon's just going to blow through it. That's at higher end dragons, though. You're talking, green, gold, platinum. So we're not there yet. As you can see, I'm only level 47. We're definitely getting to that point, but it'll be a while. Currently working on getting Amric. That's the newest one that I just breeded. Also, Hydron and Nos. I'm waiting on them. You could see it's taking 5 days and it's down to 4 days. So it's quite a while for stuff to actually pop. So on this back island, the same thing. Now, if you look on here as far as the boost goes, you could see what else I have equipped. So the runes, I have Rare Storm Frenzy and Common Cannon Striker. Reason I have really not so great runes is because at the end of the day, I didn't have anything excess. I didn't have any extra runes. So that's what I'm doing. Now, here's the big thing is when you're making your islands, you want to incorporate one of these storm towers generally on every island. I didn't do it on a few of them just because we want some of the islands to more or less just pump out the damage. But what happens with these storm towers is they generate a shield. And until they're killed, everything is shielded. And it's going to stay shielded until that tower dies. So what we'll do here is we'll put another mage tower down. And then as far as, putting these three up, we'll go ahead and we will put up another cannon on here going. And what you want to do is you want to see, what are your highest level units. You don't want to wait to put all your high units in the back the end of the run, because at that point, they're just going to come through and they're at least going to hit 70%. 70% is the magic number to technically give you resources and say that you've successfully raided their base. So you want to prevent people from hitting that number. You could see here, so I have a level 14 lightning tower and a level 13 cannon. What I'll do is I'll put the level 13 cannon up front, and I'm going to go back here and I'm going to put a level 13 archer tower. Now, the reason I don't put a lightning tower by itself is lightning towers always work in pairs. You want to add them effectively, in groups of 2 or 3 because they amplify damage. So I'm going to go ahead and put out my level 14 and I'm going to come through here and I have a level 10. I'm going to put that on both sides. On this island, again, I will stack a red mage tower and that will prevent people from just one-shotting the island. And then in the back, what I'm going to do is use a storm tower for the shield again. And then the final option will be for me to put either the trebuchet or an archer tower. At this point, I just want to go ahead and put the trebuchet on there, see if we can get another stun out.